All right, here we go. I'm starting my first pneumatic. So all I've done so far is cut the wood, and I've now just glued my first two pieces together here, building out the frame of the crate creature box. So my dimensions here, I decided to use 1x2 for the bottom and top rails, and those are 30 inches long. These 1x3s, which are going to be the side panel of my, this will probably be the front of the back, those are 18 inches long, so you add another 3 inches to the top and bottom because of the 1x2 down here, and my total height will be 21 inches tall before the lid and the bottom are put on. So what I'm using is this stuff that was recommended to me by a friend. It's called Titebond 3. All right, providing an update on where I'm at. I've got my box assembled. I'm working on the cage right now, so I'm gluing. I painted these spindles of metallic silver. I'm gluing them in there, and I will secure the top here, like so. Whoops, they're pretty dry, so I'm not worried about that. Other thing I'm working on is the top, the lid. You can see inside the box, though, I went ahead and paneled the bottom. I'm pretty happy with the way this is coming out. So my dimensions, I'll have to actually take them, but it's 30, about 31 and a half long. I gotta figure out what my depth ended up at, though, and my height, so I will report back on that. But pretty easy. I mean, a couple of lessons learned was clamps are your friend. They help you square things off. So this is my lid, making it out of 1x3. Just gluing it right now to get it secure, and then I will run my 1x4 across, which will really add the rigidness to it. Not really. All I'm going to do is glue the joints here, because the 1x4 will get screwed into this and really hold it all together. So I'm not worried about how rigid it's going to be. So that's where I'm at. This is really the easy part. Next thing I'll have to do is get into the pneumatic portion of it. So check back in a little while and let you know where I'm at. Alright, so the box is done. I got my jail bars tacked in. I got to screw them in yet. So I added some bottom feet. Let's take a look inside here. So got the door hinged, and at the bottom I added a piece of 1x4 and cut with a 2-inch hole saw through both the floor and this piece that I tacked in. Probably going to add a piece here because I need something more substantial to hold the piston now that I came so close on that piece of wood. So I'll probably tack that in, and that's where I will mount the piston, which is right in the center at the bottom. Alright. Okay, I've got my first two pistons installed. Since the last video, I replaced that bottom plate unit, and what I did is I used an 1.5-inch hole saw to cut an 1.5-inch hole into here. There's a 2-inch hole in the bottom here, and then I mounted this. This only needed 1.5 inches for clearance to fit the bumper. Same bumper as what's up here. This is my other air piston here. So this is going to rattle the lid. That is going to force the entire unit to hop up and down. So that's where I'm at. Next I will install the solenoids, and then I need to program my Boo Boo Flex controller and get that installed. Run the air hoses. I still need electric. Still a lot to do. Check back soon. So this is the third day of the build. This is where we're at. So the crate creature's name is GNAR. Let me close the lid here. So we've got that stenciled on there. Got our chains. Still need to weather the box, but that's what it looks like so far. There's our prison bars. Let me open it back up again. So I'm just starting to, got the pistons in. This one up here is a 1.5 inch stroke. The one down at the bottom is a 2-inch stroke. Just put in my first solenoid, about to mount my second. And then we'll mount the controller box. I've got to put a hole in the corner down here where I'm going to run a power strip through. So yeah, that's where we're at. We have our controller mounted there. We've got our solenoids mounted there and over there. We have the solenoids wired to the outputs 1 and 2 on the controller, and we have them, the air tubing, running to each piston. And finally the intake here, which has a Y connector, and that is this where the compressor will plug in, right there. We have a power strip at the bottom, 2-inch hole to support that. I'm going to get some kind of grommet to put in there. And we have the power source, which will go to our controller. So getting there. Also put a liner, a black liner on the top here. That was just a cheap $1 truck liner from Menards. And we covered the window as well. So we'll do some cutouts up there to support the smoke machine and the lights once we're ready.
What do I do?
All right, here's GNAR.
What do I do?
Hold on.
Okay.
So we got him all chained up. He's snoring in his cage. All right, Eli.
I do.
Go. You got to go walk in front of that trigger. Wave your hand in front of it.
Okay.
No, no. It's over there on the workbench. Look where I'm pointing. Follow that black cord right there.
Okay.
And just wave your hand in front of it. Wave your hand in front of it. Nope, like the other side of it. Back to being asleep.
Yeah.
That's where it's at so far.
Okay.
So here's the final product. I've aged the wood and the chain, I think, since the last video. Added some nice speakers. You can hear him sleeping right now, so let's go wake him up. Got the trigger right over here, so I'm going to trigger him now. So there it is. So the one thing I didn't do is add the smoke machine, and I've decided, since I want to start working on some other props, that I'm going to skip the smoke machine this year. I may add it in next year possibly as a nice change of pace, but for this year, this guy's all done. Got any questions about it? Feel free to ask me in the comments and I'll reply. Good luck with all your builds. Happy Halloween.